Hey everyone, welcome to another YouTube painting process video. This one is going to be an interesting one because I got the idea from browsing Reddit casually one day, and I found a meme regarding art on the Bikini Bottom subreddit, which is notorious for its Spongebob memes and that sort of thing. And reading the comments were a bit disorienting and discouraging for me because I feel this particular meme is misunderstood, especially for the younger crowd. So I guess I should put it up here just as a frame of reference. As you can see, it makes fun of the idea of rules for art, and it is something that is misinterpreted quite a bit, especially if you've ever taken art lessons throughout your elementary or high school days. I will say, first of all, I do not blame anybody who has this point of view. Art is meant to be creative, and a lot of people enjoy it as a creative pursuit where they can just explore themselves and just try and experiment new things. This is especially true if you are in elementary or high school. I'm not here to tell you that every art teacher has to be Adolf Hitler when it comes to the fundamentals of art. Chances are I completely understand if you picked a course for the sake of hoping for a birdie course, which is, of course, slang for getting an easy credit for graduation. My teachers from high school knew that, and they were a bit more lenient to people who noticeably was just trying to get the credit, but would be a bit stingier and be a little bit more helpful for those who are looking to pursue art. That said, the idea that you should just mindlessly get away with everything in art courses probably not the right mentality to go about it, because art is a craft, it's a profession, and there's a lot of things that normies, I would say, misinterpret when it comes to art because they might see someone like Picasso or someone who does just any abstract art and think that you don't really have to have skills. But in actuality, the best artists, no matter what style, they would know how to draw and paint. A lot of people fall into the trap of simply wanting to jump right into the fun stuff. So this is notorious for in like deviant art where everybody kind of just wants to draw anime and cartoons and that sort of thing. But the problem is that even when the professionals are drawing cartoons and anime, they would have taught themselves the rules of art or the fundamentals of art rather. A lot of times people don't really appreciate the fact that there are a lot of things to learn in art. And a lot of people will quit before they understand the fundamentals, they learn them just because it's not fun. And I'll completely admit that drawing pages of hands, pages of faces, that sort of thing, it can get a little bit boring. But the reward of learning art is that you get to portray your thoughts visually in a manner that people will understand and respect. And in a lot of cases, a lot of artists would go through the boring steps just so that they can have this power. And for me as well, I didn't enjoy a lot of the stuff that I did learning the craft, but in the end, I knew that it was always going to help me in the long run, and eventually, once I get to a certain point, I can start drawing whatever the heck I want, and it's really liberating in that sense. Now, of course, the other way to interpret this meme is that Perhaps there are some art teachers who are not teaching the fundamentals and still have a ton of arbitrary rules that they create for themselves and not really teach you anything valuable. In that case, there's not much you can do. If you're looking to get the credit in the course, just do whatever you can to pass it. A lot of times you have to understand that every teacher is trying to use their experiences, whether good or bad, in order to teach their course. So if they're not a great artist, a lot of times they would have misinterpreted rules and misinterpreted teachings, which kind of become very detrimental. It's why it's very important to self teach yourself as well if you're passionate in this field. You have to work within, I would say, work outside of a vacuum. You have to tell yourself and to research and just understand what the fundamentals are and just the right teachings are, and then perhaps if there's anything you can do in the art classes, then you can incorporate what you teach yourself to your classes. Remember, education does not begin and end in school. You have to take all your knowledge, all the research that you do for yourself, all the teachings that you learn from other people, and not just the teachers, but the peers and others, and create something for yourself and find your own rules of art. Ultimately, even for me, I might have learned the fundamentals, but I don't really use all of them at once. There's going to be things that I would actively break, and there's some I would prioritize, and that's how art fundamentals work. You choose what you need to do for your style and what you want to say to the people, to the audience. Anyways, thank you for listening to this. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of the process video here. I decided to show this one because I do screw up quite a bit, and I change a lot of things throughout this piece, since it was more of a meandering type of piece where I just kind of figure it out as I go along. So it might be a good indication, like a contrast to the meme, so to speak. Just being more liberating and just trying different things and not really thinking about the rules per se. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.